Hi everyone, Hannah Roof with Crop Pro Consulting here. I'm based out of the Yorkton area where we see a lot of saline depressions, so I wanted to show one way in which we deal with salinity using SWAT maps. Now this is one scenario, one field on one farm. Management can vary depending on the field, the level of salinity, client preference, or other factors as well, but this is one common approach to managing salinity with SWAT maps and the benefits we observe doing so. Particularly, I want to focus on managing nitrogen in these zones, as a comment I often hear from clients is how good it feels knowing they are no longer wasting money on fertilizer in these areas of low production anymore. So on this field, you can see the salinity is very high in zones 9 and 10, 4.64. Not much grows here other than kochia and a bit of foxtail barley. When soil tested in fall of 2017, these soils had a residual of 67 pounds per acre in zones 9 and 10, whereas the rest of the field had 3 to 20 pounds, indicating the crop was not taking up the applied nitrogen here, as it had previously been flat rated until now. This nitrogen will likely be lost, and thus it is money lost. Here's the variable rate report for the next spring, and you can see we cut back the urea significantly in these saline zones. That fall, when we tested again, the residual rates were down to 47 pounds per acre of nitrogen, but still significantly higher than the rest of the field. The next year, here's our variable rate report again, and you can see we cut back even more. This is an NPK blend now, so the nitrogen is even less going down here. We also decided at this point to pull back the seed rate in zone 10, as we weren't getting any extra emergence by increasing the seed. This was to be expected with this high of salinity, but clients sometimes prefer to try and see if we can get more plant stand in these areas at first, and then manage it from there. So we pulled back on the seed rates and the fertilizer rates. The next fall, when we sampled again, the residual nitrogen levels were even with the rest of the field, as you can see in the 2019 test, and then the next year they were as well. Even though we got the nitrogen even with the rest of the field, we'll continue to cut these rates in these zones, as the salinity is still high and they are still low producing areas. This was one example of how SWAT maps can be used to manage saline areas. Variable rate cannot fix salinity, since salinity is a water table issue, but we can manage by allocating fertilizer and seed to proper areas of the field and within fields as well, between fields.